Greetings, my movie geeks. Welcome back to our Halloween countdown, 31 films in 31 days. I'm Nate Nielsen, the movie geek, and I'm joined once again by Mrs. Movie Geek, who will probably tell us about this film. Tonight we watch Case 39, starring Renee Zellweger and Bradley Cooper and Ian McShane. And personally, I didn't really enjoy this one. We'd seen it before. Mm-hmm. We watched it. I don't know why we watched it. We just put it on, didn't we?
Yeah.
We were just there. It just happened. And it's one of those that doesn't really grab me, and there's a lot of story elements that don't really work for me. But what was the story?
Renee Zellweger is a social worker, and she's really swamped, like they all are probably in America. Her boss wanders over and says, "How many active caseloads have you got at the minute?" And she's like, 38. And he chucks a file at her. He's 39 now. And the case file is a young girl who appears to be being abused by parents. There's real concerns about her welfare. Ultimately, when they go out to visit, she takes a police officer around because she's really concerned, which is Ian McShane.
Yeah.
And they've got her in the oven and they've tied it up and
turned it on as well,
yeah. So like the fight ensues and her father gets his jaw broken and the mother coming up behind Renee Zellweger with a knife and he thinks she's going to kill her. And she gets took out as well. They both get knocked out and restrained, and they get the child out. It cuts to her then taking her to a home, not a foster home, but a home for children, like a children's home. And she's sort of saying to the social worker, "I don't want to stay here. I'm scared. I don't want to stay here.
Why
can I stay with you?" And she's like, "No, you can't." And like we said, why would this one case get under her skin? Because she probably dealt with, hundreds of cases.
Well, she had 38 before this one.
Yeah, she'll have had hundreds. And in the end, she applies to have sort of short-term custody for her, just to try and have some sort of normality.
She proper argues for it as well, and like goes through the process.
So she's then taken off the case because obviously she can't have an active case because of the conflict. And she gets her into school, and she's got a little spare room for her. And what I think he's a social worker, isn't he? He's a boyfriend. He's like Bradley Cooper's the love interest, and he gets talking to her one day. And he's horrified by her. She's just really rude.
She's horrible and threatening.
Yeah. And he says that to Renee Zellweger afterwards. He was like, "I've never ever felt threatened by a child." And he kind of had opened up to her about when he was scared as a child.
What his fear was.
Yeah. And then he dies very strangely. And it's the thing that was linked to his childhood that he told this, she's Lilith?
Yeah, Lilith.
Lilith,
Yeah,
so you know it's not going to be good. And it goes from there, and she's very sweetly, sickly sweet almost with Renee Zellweger's character, isn't she? Until she doesn't get her own way.
And then she's nasty.
Yeah, and obviously Lilith is one of the, it's a biblical, it was Adam's first wife, wasn't it?
So that's the story I heard, Adam's first wife, who was made from the same stuff as Adam, and because they were equal, obviously women aren't equal, are they? He was thrown out of Eden.
In the eyes of the Catholic Church.
Thrown out of Eden, and all the demons. I think she's the mother of all the demons or something like that. I can't remember.
But basically she's not a child. Whatever she is has been born as a child.
Yeah.
And she quite quickly comes to realise that parents
were right
and were abusing, and they actually try to get rid of her because they tried numerous times. And she already had picked up on certain things, like the parents had deadbolts on the door, and
they pulled like chest of drawers over to stop the door.
Yeah, there was like grooves in the floor. I don't know where they'd always put something in the way.
It's an interesting idea, and the way they showed all that, and she's like going in and investigating all this and seeing all that. Yeah. So the kid's being locked out of the bedroom. But then that all comes back round at the end
Yeah.
when she ends up
Having
deadlocking her door.
Yeah.
And there's a scene where you see her pulling the chest of drawers and it's making the same scrapes on the floor. Strangely.
Yeah. But they all get picked off one by one. So Bradley Cooper dies. Her friend, he's like a really good friend, Lovejoy, we'll call him.
Lovejoy.
Ian McShane. He's a really good friend as well, who happens to be a police officer, and he starts as a go-at because he comes out of a church at one point and they meet up, and she's like, she tries to say there's something really wrong about her. She can do all this weird stuff, and she knows things that she shouldn't know, and he really has a go at her, and he's like, don't make me report you. And she said, but
you come out of there every Sunday.
You believe all of that, and then you don't believe me, as your friend who's just told you this, and he's having none of it. He ends up blowing his own head off because he thinks someone's attacking him, doesn't he?
Big dog.
Yeah. So like quite quickly it escalates, and she's kind of stuck with her.
Yeah.
And it kind of crescendos onto a really stormy night, doesn't it?
As it does, as it
and
usually.
She runs out, gets on a bus, and then she ends up going back and gets in a car, and the kid's sat in the back of the car, and so she's just everywhere. And she's like, you shouldn't be leaving me on my own. And she's really condescending a little bit, isn't she?
Yeah. And then she has a plan to. She goes to see the parents or the father anyway, who's able to talk.
She goes to see the mother.
But she doesn't get to see her, does she?
The mother is catatonic, but she's saying she believes she's being burned all the time.
Yeah.
And then you see it from the mother's point of view, and she is. It's like she's on fire
she's
all
like
the
she's
time.
In the oven.
And then the father stabs somebody in prison because he starts eating
cutting
his food,
shelling the peas, and then eating them on a knife.
That was what the little girl used to do. And so he's looking at this fellow inmate, and then he stabs him because he thinks he's going to kill her. He ends up falling on this fork and killing himself. So they're both no good to her.
But before they died, they told her that she doesn't sleep, this kid, and it was the first time she'd slept in months when they were able to get her into the oven. And he said that I think he gave her a drug, didn't he?
Yeah,
to make her sleep, and so that's the plan. Get rid of her that way.
Yeah, so she tries that. She sets the house on fire. This is after being like cornered in the house with her and her showing a true face, or
like bashing down the door.
Yeah,
and
like the whole everything is shaking, and the voice is demonic, and the girl. That's why she ran to the bus. The girl's mother had come out of the wardrobe at her and stuff, and none of it's real. But yeah, she drugs her, sets the house on fire, and she stood outside, and like, is anyone else? And she's like, no. And she looks over, and she stood there again. So, I mean, in the end, we'll do spoilers. It's pretty old, 2009, I think.
Yeah.
She does kill her. She drives off into the bay, doesn't she?
Yeah.
She just becomes that she's not frightened anymore because her own mother died when she was a child in a car accident, and she's like, I'm not scared anymore. And she just drives like a maniac, and then takes it off over a bridge into some docks, really. And
then locks her in the boot.
Yeah, she pushes her. Don't ask me how, because she's a demon. She should be all powerful. Gets her into the boot, and she tries to get out, and she's going. This like massive arm reaches out, like you can tell whatever it is evil. And then that's kind of how it ends. She breaks the water. You're not sure whether she's gonna, and she's just sat on the dock. Like we said, stuff like this, what happens after that?
Because then they're going to find the dead body of a kid in there.
Yeah.
She's going to go. She's going to be in jail.
Lose job and all sorts.
She could have got jail. Yeah. She just killed the kid.
Yeah.
Well, so yeah.
You might say it was an accident.
What did you think of it though?
It's alright. It's not an amazing film. Don't rate Renee Zellweger apart from in Bridget Jones. I don't really. I think she's
supposed to be good in that one where she's playing.
Judy Garland.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll see that.
I'll watch that.
But she's okay. I don't know. There's something missing, I think, from the film. Wasn't
scares, I think.
Yeah, it wasn't particularly scary. But I suppose it explores where people do hurt the children.
Why
and why and they say, oh, they're evil. I've had to do it because they're evil, and it kind of don't make you think, because it obviously doesn't exist, but in their mind it probably does, and it explores I can't think what it's called, patricide, where the young boy, he gets a call.
Killed his parents, patricide.
He's one of the other cases.
Patricide, isn't it?
Yeah, and he gets a call from, and he ends up killing his family, his mum and dad. and he absolutely adored his mum and dad,
Yeah.
didn't he? So it was like,
Yeah, the underlying story is that this little girl's going around and she's taking all the other case files from this from Renée Zellweger, and she's contacting these kids and making them do something or making them die. I don't think they're dying. Are they?
no, you just made that up.
Yeah, I don't know why.
No,
It's
I
because
don't.
she had a whole like file when she was turning all the pictures over. And
It's alright.
Mm.
It's not an amazing film. I think if you've got Ranger and there's really nothing else on, you could give it a whirl, but I would say for me it's a 5 out of 10.
I'm gonna go really low. I think it's a 3.
Yeah.
3 pumpkins for my pumpkin patch. Didn't enjoy it. There wasn't really anything in it. The CGI used in it that looks terrible in moments, but yeah, not great.
Okay.
Yeah, watch it.
What we're watching tomorrow?
Tomorrow we're back on Shudder. We're back on Shudder, everybody. And we saw that it was just there, so we watched it what's it called? The Witch in the Window.
Yeah.
So we'll do that tomorrow. So let us know what you thought of Case 39 if you've seen it. Like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you tomorrow.